still continue to work until they got their results. The person is sick, and now all of these bus drivers are knocked out. And not only are they sick, but their children and their family members are as well. So we're in a very desperate situation to get our union back under control. I'm not asking you guys to vote for me right now. I want you to track with me from now until it's time for you to make your decision, to understand who do you want to be your president. Your president is going to be able to help to hold up and put in a structure to where these VPs are held accountable. Right now, these VPs are doing whatever they want. Everybody is doing whatever it is they want. There's no line of accountability at all. People do whatever it is they want, whatever they feel like. They come into work whenever they feel like. They do whatever it is they want. There's no accountability process to what is happening right now, and we're all feeling it. So I don't want to be too much longer, but I want you guys to understand that what is happening right now with what Eric has done with the, bringing in this pick on the C line, there's like 5 jobs that was reported to me that are already cut. People have lost, their jobs, and now even their seniority is compromised because the AM and the PM people have to pick. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to pick in the order that they were before because of the way the whole system is set up. So these things are wrong and they're not supposed to be happening. And the only way for us to stop it is for us to do something about it and to come together. We are stronger together. There is nothing that we're going to be able to do if we do not come together as a people. And you have to understand that when you're dealing with people in leadership, how they speak to you matters. When people belittle you, or you disagree with someone, or someone disagrees with you and they start calling you names, stupid, you an idiot, y'all dumb, and all that kind of stuff. When they're talking to you like that, now, if they can talk to you like that now, what are you going to think they're going to do when now they have the authority that you've given them to now govern you? If they don't respect you now, they're not going to respect you later. I just want you guys to understand what we're up against. I know we live in a time where doing the right thing is sort of shunned upon. Character is not weighed in the balance when it comes to dealing with people in positions of leadership and authority. But understand something. A person's character speaks volumes about who they are. It's not just something to be overlooked. We see that in the case of Donald Trump. Look what this man did in his 4 years of office. Look what he was able to do because he lacked character. He had no standard, nothing. And look at how we spiraled out of control. There was no protocols or no systems in place for COVID-19. Anytime something came up that was an issue, he started calling people names and degrading people and all of the different things that Donald Trump did under his administration. And this in no way says that administrations before him were better, but I'm just dealing with the man that we just had 4 years under. Look at all of the unrest that happened under his administration, on his watch. All of these things matter. You have to track with people and look at what they have done and who they are and what they stand for. Not just what they say, but what they do. It's more about what you do than exactly what you say. I can come to you and give you reports all day, but what am I doing in the field? Am I demonstrating the same position when it comes to dealing with our union and our elected officers and management? Am I? Am I going to stand up to them? Am I going to push back against things that are wrong? Are the people I'm aligning myself with those type of people? So I just want you guys to be to be inspired. I want you guys to be energized. I want you guys to start thinking about what the possibilities would be if you had leadership that actually adhered to the rules that protect us and govern our department. If you had a president that went into contract negotiations prepared. If you had a president that had a real legal team that wasn't just well-fed and unconcerned, but actually doing what has been hired to do. If you had a president that was really concerned about leading the movement for Tier 6, because understand something, Tier 6 is not going to be changed because we say, oh, Tier 6, let's change Tier 6. It has to be a movement led by a union or an organization. Somebody has to pick up the mantle and the call to deal with this situation, to understand that nobody who works in New York City, one of the richest cities in the world, should be retiring at half their wages, should be capped at how much they can contribute to their pension. So all of these things need to be addressed. Understand hold on one second, let me read this number. MTA proposed 9,367 employees be laid off this year. It's still on the table. It's not gone. It's just postponed. That means that this fight that this current administration did not finish, we are going to have to deal with in 2022. We're going to be dealing with 9,367 people still up for termination. It's postponed. It is not off the table. It's still a viable option that they can come for us. And they have not been challenged. There was no fight. There was nothing that occurred except that they got their funding that they asked for. Now, guess what's going to happen when that funding runs out, right? And they start crying broke again, and they want some more money. What are they going to do? They're going to begin to put us up up again, our jobs on the line for but they're going to put us back up for layoffs. So we are in a very, very serious time. We all have to understand what it is that we're up against. And we have to begin to come together. You guys are going to see me out in the field more, a lot more, often, very often. I will be all over the system talking to you guys direct. Things that I cannot say on camera, I can say to you guys in person. And you guys can begin to feel and understand why I am so adamant about flipping TW Local 100 like Stacey Abrams flipped Georgia. It's going to occur. I am determined that I'm not working here for another 20 years under the conditions that they are now. It makes no sense, because eventually with automation and all of the advancements that are happening technologically, transit is forcefully moving ahead with their agenda. Every project that they had in the works is being completed, right? And what does that mean for our labor force? What does that mean for MOW? What does that mean for the Department of Buses? Clearly, they said clearly in subways, 2,300 and something people would be terminated. 4,500 people would be laid off in buses. An MTA bus, 12,000. This is your livelihood. And those who are in leadership right now are doing nothing. We saw how unprepared our union is to deal with anything that happens. If you just watch the news interview on Pix 11, where Richie Davis and the bought the guy, the gentleman who had the accident on the articulated bus, brought him out there. The man's face is swollen, his jaw is wired to address the press. That's what attorneys are for. Why would you bring this man on camera before the press in pain. He can't see out of his eye. His back is hurting him. He's clearly in excruciating pain. They're telling these lies on him. And instead of doing it the proper way, which would have been to show up with an attorney, he shows up unprepared. They're asking the man all type of questions on camera, talking about RTOs and all kind of things that have nothing to do with the situation at hand. Just a mess. Everybody's flaying. Their arms are flaying all over the place. So it was just a mess. It was embarrassing. And this is what is being allowed. You think they contacted Tony and Tano and asked for permission? I doubt it. They just went and did what they want to do, as they usually do. They do what it is that they want to do because there's no accountability in how these things are played out. No one is held accountable for anything. And so we're paying people right now, right, to oppress us. That's basically what we're doing. We're paying to be oppressed, to be disenfranchised, to not have, all of the services that we're paying for given to us. I know no one ever likes to talk about increases and dues payments and things of that nature. But if we are going to be a serious union, if we're going to be a workforce that is going to remain, we have to get rid of management within our system and begin to govern ourselves internally. We have the means to do it. There's no reason why there's no affordable housing set up for us, right? Under my administration, I plan to bring affordable housing to us. We have 46,000 members. There's no reason why we are not partnering with developers to put a system in place so that we have affordable housing for our members, that we're not moving out of state. All of these things are things that can happen. We have the workforce. Our jobs are guaranteed. We have 46,000 members. There's no bank, there's no developer in the United States that's going to say no to putting a pathway to ownership for our members. You guys have to have the desire and the hunger to take back our locals so that we can have the things that we should have and that we can have and that we can put in place. My goal and my focus is to empower us from the ground up, right? Not from the top down. I need you guys to be strong. I need you guys to understand what's at stake. I need you guys to participate in the process and understand that they can only suppress the vote but so much. Make sure, as of now, that your dues are paid up, that you're not in bad standing. So many of us go out on workers' compensation. When you're out on comp, your dues are not being paid. It's the union's job to let you know, but they're not going to do that. It works to their benefit. If there's tons of members in bad standing, when it comes around for election time, guess what? You can't run and you can't challenge them. You don't have a voice and you can't vote. So some of you who say, oh, I'm not receiving my ballot. It's not only that maybe they didn't mail it out. It can also be that you're in bad standing. You have to make sure that you check these things. You have to make sure that you have your meetings. The same way we participated in this past election, and remember I said you needed to vote your interest when it came to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because that would be the party that would make sure whatever your bottom line is and your interest was carried out, and it happened. Is the same way you have to participate in this election, as if your life depended on it, because it does. The lifestyle that you have, the cars you drive, the schools that your children attend, all of this hangs in the balance at this juncture. We are not safe. We are not stable as a union, and we all are experiencing it. So I'm not talking to you as somebody coming shouting fire. We all are experiencing it. I'm experiencing it. We all are experiencing it. And so if we want to change it, we have to be the change that we seek, and we got to come together. So once again, my name is Evangeline Byers. We are stronger together. There's no one and nothing that can stop us if we are on one accord. The same way, just pay attention to something. Stand United knows they're not in agreement on anything, right? But guess what? They refuse to depart from one another. Why? Because they know if they hold on to that link, right, the likelihood of them being able to survive and get back in is stronger, because they have no confidence that we can come together and change anything. They're betting that we're not going to do it. But I just watched a woman named Stacey Abrams, the gubernatorial election in her state was stolen from her. Make a resolve in her spirit that she was going to do something about that process and change not only the trajectory of her state, but the balance of power within the Senate. That now, when you're dealing with issues like the stimulus and other key things that we try to get through that usually are blocked because the Senate was in the hands of the Republican Party for so long, now they have the ability to change things. I'm coming with that same fire and that same determination. I'm channeling my inner Stacey Abrams, that we have to do something about TW Local 100. And anybody that comes against what it is that we're trying to do is not on the same side of us. I don't like to call our union brothers and sisters our enemies, but in anything that you do, you always have some people that are for the right causes and are doing things and are motivated to move on towards doing what's right because they want to do the right thing. And then you have those who are being fueled by their own belly. By their own belly. Nobody that is supposed to be retired, going into retirement, should be stepping up to run our local. What type of idiots do they think that we are? What type of idiots do they think that we are? That they're going to come they haven't done anything the whole time they was here to advance anything. But now they say, okay, we know that the people didn't want us before. We weren't able to pull it together. But now here I am 30 years in, and I'm going to be your financial treasurer. 27 years in, I'm going to be your president. With Miss Onisha, I don't even know how many, 20 years in, I'm going to be your president. And all of these years, and then I saw under her that they were talking about, what did they say? Oh yeah, with her 20 years in that, about women's issues. There has nothing been accomplished for women besides going into the breast, going to be able to pump your milk. And we still don't have stations for that yet. So I don't mind working with people, but what I will not do is move aside and allow people who have been here and participating in the process of undoing the union to come in and say, now we're going to lead you. No. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I have 20 more years here. A lot of you under the sound of my voice have a lot more time here. We have to make sure we put people in place who are going to move us ahead. They can come alongside us. They can work under us, but they cannot be the deciding factor on our contract, on things that are going to affect us for years to come, and those that will come behind us. I hope you guys are hearing me and understanding like where we are. We're in a critical time, and I'm ready. And I'm going to help get you guys ready so that we can make sure that we are able to forge ahead, and that the livelihood, the lifestyle, all of the things that we have been benefiting from is not lost. If you look at all of the things that are being undone in our contract, people are just arbitrarily going to putting things up for grievance, to grieve, without there being a process to see what it is. Can we even win this? Is this something that we should even forge ahead with? Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you can do it. Because you have the right to grieve something does not mean that you should do it. Sometimes you have to wait until the time is right to deal with different issues, and to look at how we're actually functioning. Are we even adhering to a lot of the things in our contract? So we have a lot to prepare for. I'm ready for it. I was very, very inspired this morning listening to Martin Luther King, and just thinking about that during that time when he's talking about having a dream. I wasn't even born yet. But it was the sacrifice that these men and women put in place and did before I was even thought about, that I had the ability to sit here and have the audacity to talk about being the president of a union, to talk about creating sustainable housing for our workers, to talk about putting systems in place that would protect us, that would protect organized labor. I can do these things because of who came before me and the example that was put before me. And that was one of a high price and a high call, and your character mattered. You had to respect people. Being an abuser was not tolerated. They hated Dr. King, Reverend King. I don't even like to call him Dr. King because he was a pastor. He was a man of high moral regard. What motivated him to become involved in the civil rights movement was the fact that his daughters could not go to the amusement park and play like other little kids. So because of that, it fueled him to start to becoming part of, to become engaged in the process and to create what he created. And we all are benefactors of it. You can always look back at things and say how you could have done things better. But when you're working towards something that has never been done before, when you're doing something that calls you out of your comfort zone, to move in faith, to move with gumption, to move with fearlessness, you're going to make some mistakes along the way. However, the overwhelming outcome of his work is that we stand here today employed. You have Black men are sanitation workers. Irish men are sanitation workers. Minority women are sanitation workers. Women work for New York City Transit. We move buses, trains. It gave all of us access. And so we have to understand that it was that movement, it was his vision, his dream that ultimately led to his demise, him being murdered and assassinated. Because he knew that this had to happen. It had to happen for his children to have a chance and his children's children to have a chance. He had to go all the way. And now we are the legacy of his work. The torch has been passed to us. It is indicative of us to pick up the torch and run. It's indicative of us to do it. The baton, not the torch, but to pass the baton on to us. And that we have to pick it up and we have to continue to ensure that we will be able to exist going forward into the future. Our future hangs in the balance. This is very, very important. 9,000 people being laid off from New York City Transit, right? Not just the MTA, but New York City Transit primarily. That would be 9,000 families within this city that no longer will have the life that they were living. They won't be going to school, the schools that they were attending, if their parents were sending them to private schools. When it comes to paying rent, we live in one of the most expensive cities in the nation. Our livelihood hangs in the balance. If you look at, even within our union, all of the men and the women that are opening businesses, restaurants, all kind of stuff is happening. Because how? You have a stable salary here, and you're able to build out from that. It's how they're getting loans and being able to leverage so many different things in order to be able to exist. We have to take this serious. This is about our money. This is about your bottom line. And you must defend it. You got to do it. So I hope I inspired you guys. I was very much longer than I usually am, but I just feel very energized today. I just really feel energized, and just watching what's happening throughout the system, where these VPs are not being held accountable for the demise of their departments. The fact that people are being put up for termination and they can't even get in contact with their VPs. Not only the VPs, but the president of the local. The other day, myself and some other people were doing work around grievance and discipline. And one of the retirees, Miss Clinton, was walking in her neighborhood, and President Yatano and them were out eating. They were out eating and laughing and having a nice time, while we are here trying to deal with all of the problems and what we're facing here at our local. They are well fed and unconcerned. They're not losing no sleep. They are fine. They are fine. And so we need to disrupt their process, and to make sure that they never serve another day in this union. They have violated all of the tenets of labor and organizing. They won't even allow us electronic voting. They won't allow anything. Anything that comes before the e-board is tabled and blocked. Nothing. The business of the members, nothing. We're in the midst of COVID-19. There has never been a statement from TW Local 100 telling the members that if you get sick, all you have to do is fill out an injury on duty form and file a claim with a workers' compensation attorney in order to be compensated for all of the time that you're going to be off because you contracted COVID here. They still have not done it to date. We're almost a year into the pandemic. I am the only one that has been bringing you the telephone number of the attorney and telling you, contact this attorney, give them your information, file an injury on duty, and this is how you cover yourself due to COVID, because we don't know the long-term effects of COVID-19. We don't know. There are new strands, people are being vaccinated, all types of things are happening right now. However, when has your union told you to document, to fill out an injury on duty form, to contact the attorneys? And they know they are affiliated with McIntyre, Reardon, McIntyre. I forget the whole name of the union, but Reardon and McIntyre. You guys know who I'm talking about. I'll place it here after so you can have it again. But the union has never told you that you're covered under workers' compensation. You file an injury on duty. I don't know if you guys heard about TSS Furman, who just passed away. Came in this Saturday to work, high fever, have been there Friday and Saturday, but because of the way, again, even in management, they're fighting their own fights. Understand that the superintendents are fighting to get a union. The TSSs have a union, which they say is poor, is weak, it doesn't function and live up to what it's supposed to. But a TSS who was ill kept coming to work because he thought that if he didn't come in, he would be demoted because they extended his probation. By the time he went to the MAC, he took a test. It came back that he didn't have COVID, although the doctors that he went to, they said that most likely he had COVID, right? And so he went through this whole process, and he's no longer with us. There are people all over the system testing positive for COVID. All throughout the system, people are testing positive for COVID. People are going out COVID. You have to contact the attorney and fill out an injury on duty. So I hope that this video was very informative. Again, I didn't mean to be this long, but it's just a lot that I felt to come and to bring this message to you guys today. And just be encouraged. I'll see you guys out in the field. I'll see you guys around. So you have a great day.